Hello, scum. You're probably expecting that Pickles Parker kid. Oh, he's dead. You have to deal with me, Pickles Knocker, for this video. On this Halloween night, we will be counting down my top 10 Scariest Doctor Who episodes. Enjoy! Number 10.
Hold up,
Love
Pickles.
and Monsters.
This isn't even
your channel. And by the way, in whose top 10 Scariest Doctor Who episodes is Love and Monsters in?
The Absorber Love kind of scary. I had nightmares for months.
Love and Monsters is laughably bad. Nothing in that is scary. You need to get your brain checked. And also, just get out of here. So, he's gone. Let's just get into my actual top 10 Scariest Doctor Who episodes.
Number 10. Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS.
To the centre of the TARDIS. Now, I actually am not a fan of this episode at all. It is one of, if not my least favourite, Matt Smith story. The story is awful. The acting is awful. And we did not get what we are promised. But when I watched it on first viewing, I actually found it pretty scary. Okay, those time zombies did have me a nightmare or two back in 2013. And I know what was about them. I never watched that episode again. For years, I couldn't look in the Doctor Who 50th anniversary annual when it had a picture of them. I was just totally creeped out by those guys. So, no matter what I think of that episode, I have to admit, those guys were creepy and made me not want to watch that episode for some time.
Number 9. World, Enough and Time.
And time. Now, this episode was recent actually. The series 10 first part of the two-part finale. And what a great episode World Enough and Time was. It was a 10 out of 10. But it made the Cybermen scary again. It was so much body horror and imagery that it really, some parents really didn't want their kids to watch it and didn't let them watch certain parts of the episode. I loved it. The Cybermen are often criticised for not being scary in the new series, for becoming a bit of a joke, but this made them well scary again, and this episode was brilliant. And that cliffhanger, oh my god, Bill coming out as a Cyberman, it was quite creepy. Just that sing-song voice, I waited for you, went shivers up many people's spines, including mine. I'm older now, so I didn't have nightmares about that, but I don't have nightmares about any Doctor Who episode now, but it was generally very creepy.
Number 8. The Empty Child.
Empty Child. Now you're probably wondering, hold up a second, shouldn't this be higher up on your list? Well, it's The Empty Child. It never said it was The Empty Child / The Doctor Dances. But anyway, this episode is increasingly creepy with The Empty Child. Oh my god, that villain is one of the best in modern Who, if not the whole of Doctor Who. It is so creepy. Are you my mummy? Oh my god. Just him answering the TARDIS phone where it doesn't work. him trying to get into that house, and the doctor's reaction, and all the kids' reaction and Nancy's reaction, they are so terrified. So which makes you terrified, and oh my god, Dr. Constantine's transformation into a gas mask zombie was just horrifying. I remember when I first watched this, I watched it in my parents' room, and I went out and all the landing lights were off, and I couldn't leave that room because I was so scared.
Number 7. Blink.
Now you're probably wondering, isn't this higher up with this list? And that's mainly because I was never creeped out by this one as much as others. But it's a brilliant episode. I love it. It's not overrated at all. Now this would be right up there if it was in terms of best episodes. But if it's scary episodes, it's still scary, but it's not as scary as some others, or at least in my opinion anyway. But the Weeping Angels are at best in this episode. The Weeping Angels are definitely the best creation of New Who. Superb. They are so scary in this, and the concept is brilliant. And it's creepy how they zap people into the past, how they move without you seeing. Obviously, it's all basic, we've seen it all before. Everybody knows what Weeping Angel is, even if they haven't seen Doctor Who. But this concept was brilliant at the time, still brilliant now, still utterly scary. The Weeping Angels are often classed as the scariest monsters of New Who, and I can't disagree. They're so scary, and so is this episode.
Number 6. Night Terrors.
Now, Night Terrors is very underrated story, in my opinion. It is very creepy. The Peg Dolls, oh my god. The Peg Dolls. They are so creepy with their singing and the transformation. So scary. People never mention this when they mention scary monsters, but these Peg Dolls, like Journey to Center of Ties, I couldn't go back to watch this episode for a while and still get shivers down my spine when I watch it today. Those Peg Dolls, and because the people are scared of the Peg Dolls, it makes them more creepy. They are the perfect dose of scariness.
Number 5. Forest of the Dead.
Of the Dead. While Silence in the Library doesn't make it onto the list, that one is incredibly creepy too. But what makes Silence in the Library so creepy? What makes Forest of the Dead so creepy is the alternate life of Donna. The Vashnarada are incredibly creepy. Another underrated, scary monster for me. But the other world where Donna lives is very, very creepy. How it's real, and you start noticing things, how it's not real. And it's really quite creepy. And then Miss Evangelista, where she pulls off her hood, despite it's just a simple, like a whirl sort of effect on her face, which could be done quite easily using various editors. It still creeps me out a little today, and I think that is what makes Forest of the Dead just that little bit more creepy than Silence in the Library, and why it's definitely deserving to be on this list.
Number 4. Midnight.
Now, Midnight is incredibly creepy, and that all goes down to how contained it is, how claustrophobic Midnight is. Just a few people on this little ship, on this, sort of like cruise ship, just this one room with this creature inhabiting people, and also, again, the actual cast are terrified by this, and they're all believable, and how it turns is massive writing by Russell T Davies. And what makes it more scary is you never find out what that creature is, and it still keeps you wondering, and I don't think we should ever learn what that is, but it is a very, very, very creepy episode.
Number 3. Flatline.
Now, boneless, the creatures in the walls, is such a genius concept by Jamie Mathewson, and I had a very vivid nightmare after watching this episode back in 2014, when I was dragged from my bed into the wall, and it's so vivid that I thought it was real until I woke up, and that what makes this scary. Despite, unlike some of the other episodes, I don't get the shiver down my spine when I watch it now, but it was so vivid that I had to put it on this list. It's generally a very creepy episode. Mathewson is the new Moffat, taking something simple and making it scary. And that's what he did in this episode. These creatures could be anywhere, and we're surrounded by walls and floors. And whatever you're on, there's no escape from these creatures. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Number 2. The Waters of Mars.
Cliche, I know, but how scary is these episodes? This episode, an hour in length, and it's brilliant. The best of the specials, hand down, one of my favourite new series stories. Now, the flood. The scariest monster of New Who, hands down. I've said it. The flood. Their design with the cracked mouths, I still can't look at them. I have only ever seen the waters of Mars once, and there is a terribly good reason for that. The flood. They are so scary. The cracked mouths, the blank eyes, and apparently they were supposed to be even scarier in their appearance, but they were changed to because they were deemed too scary to show. But they are so scary now. And the water, it could be anywhere. The design makes it. The flood is so perfect. And Waters of Mars is a great episode as well. So great episode plus scary monster equals brilliant combination.
Now for some honourable mentions. Human Nature, Dalek, Heaven Sent, Sleep No More, The Pandorica Opens. And number 1, The Doctor Dances. Fantastic.
Yes. My number 1, The Doctor Dances. Now, The Doctor Dances is so scary. Literally. They bumped it up a notch from The Empty Child. That is some, again, horrific conversion scenes from humans into gas mask zombies, which is generally terrifying. You have a whole army of gas mask zombies just crying, "Are you my mummy?" It's so creepy. And when the doctor's in that room listening to the tape of the child going, "Are you my mummy?" and then they're still hearing it, and then they go and see it out, they're still hearing it, but the tape has stopped, and whereas that empty child is down there. It is filled with scary moments. It is the scariest episode of new series in my opinion. But what are yours? Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree? Comment below, let me know.
Please like this video if you have enjoyed it, and if you want to see more content from my channel, then please hit subscribe.
Goodbye.
Hi, Garen Adam. So Terminus, I must confess I've never actually watched the 5th Doctor story, but I yet know quite a bit about the era. I do love that Davison title sequence. It is probably one of my favourites. I like Turlo as a companion, but I do find Nyssa a tiny bit annoying. Not much, but a bit annoying. Valentine Dial is a bit over the top as the Black Guardian. I do like that we see lots of different rooms in the TARDIS, because in the modern era we don't really see that much of the TARDIS other than the console room, so it's quite nice that we see everybody that has like different rooms. Because I think that Amy and Rory were referenced to having like bedrooms, but we never actually seen them, so it's nice that we've seen some companions' bedrooms. I always find Davison a bit bland as a Doctor, if I'm honest, but he still puts in a good performance nonetheless. Some of the direction isn't great by Mary Ridge. Tegan doesn't do much, but then that is the nature of the crowded TARDIS. I do quite like the concept of the plague victims. The Garm's design is a bit goofy, but has been created much better on screen than the Naimon in our last classic outing. And Nyssa's exit is actually very nicely underplayed. I was going to give this a 5.5 out of 10, but because I liked how the subtlety of Nyssa's exit so much, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Take care guys, see ya.